Hi guys, I thought I would make a video to show you guys what you could do with some speakers that you might have lying around from an old hi-fi. So I pulled these speakers down from my loft, and whilst I was on Amazon looking around, I came across this particular amplifier which caught my eye. So the amplifier is actually made by a company that I've never heard of. The company is called LiNKFOR, and if you have a look here, I will actually bring it up on the screen for you. Yeah, that was the amplifier that caught my eye, and I decided to order it. So the reason why this amplifier caught my eye was particularly because of the power output. The company is claiming it to have 2 times 50 watt per channel output, and they're also claiming it has Bluetooth 4.2 circuitry built in, which would indicate that I could connect a Bluetooth device to stream audio straight to the amplifier, and then I would hear the sound through the speakers. Not only that, the amplifier was advertised with having 8 gold-plated banana plugs, which is also a bonus. One other thing that caught my eye was that the fact the amplifier came with a 24-volt power supply. So there were other amplifiers which were like this, but those other ones didn't seem to have the bass and treble controls within this price range. So looking at the unit being priced at $34.99, I was curious to see whether the unit would perform well, so I went ahead and purchased it. Okay, so here we have the amplifier in the box that it arrived in, and let's open it up. So it looks like there's some instructions here. Side. Looks like a quality control certificate there. Some more instructions. So here we have the power supply. Now this was quite an interesting thing that was included with the amplifier. There are a lot of amplifiers around the same physical size, and many of them don't include the power supply. So this particular one did include the power supply, and surprisingly it states that it's 24 volts at 4.5 amps, which is pretty good. So let's have a look. It looks like it's a fused UK plug in the packaging as well, which is also a good thing. So it looks like this is the aerial for the Bluetooth signal reception. And then this was also quite surprising. It did actually state that these banana plugs were included with the amplifier. Normally, again, with their competitors selling similar items, these banana plugs are not included. So it looks like there's enough banana plugs here to put on both ends of the speaker cable. Okay, so here we have the amplifier itself. Build quality wise, it seems to be quite sturdy. It is a metal casing that they've used. And yes, I am quite surprised at the physical size of the unit. There's nothing else in the box, so you can just put that aside. So yeah, the unit at the bottom, it does say that a 4 amp 24 volt power supply is recommended. The output is specified at 2 times 50 watts. However, what is quite interesting is whenever there is a quality amplifier or quality speakers, the wattage is always specified in RMS. On here, where the wattage is specified, it just says 50 watts, but it doesn't actually give any further information as to whether that's 50 watts RMS or 50 watts peak music power output. We don't know. Because of the physical size of this unit, I'm making the assumption that the 50 watt figure that is actually specified here is 50 watts PMPO. So we'll soon find out, and then I'll be able to give a general idea on whether it is peak music power output or whether it is RMS true wattage. So yeah, let's just take a look at the back. And at the back, you've got the connector for the aerial, which is just here. And then you have the audio inputs for right and left. So that would be for using a RCA cable to a 3.5mm jack, which you could then plug into a phone with a headphone jack or something like that. Or you could use a traditional style CD player, and then you can have like an RCA to RCA cable giving that input there. And then here you actually have the speaker connectors. Again, there is a positive and negative for each one. And then just there you have the connector for the power supply. So it looks like these can be unscrewed. Yeah, so these can be unscrewed, and then the cable can actually be put round there. But because the company has provided the banana plugs, we'll be able to connect the cable directly onto the banana plug and then plug it into the corresponding connector at the back. So yeah, all in all, so far pretty good. And at the front of the amp, we have the controls, and obviously there's a power button there. It's not actually a physical button that you would push in and out. It seems to be a micro switched button, which is fine. And then you have a bass control, the treble control, and of course the actual volume. The volume control is actually quite nice. It has, as you turn it, you actually feel the notches on the control itself. So yeah, that's quite interesting and a nice little touch there. Okay, so with regards to the speaker cable, you will need this to connect the amplifier to the speakers. Now, there will be two cables, and each cable will need to be split through the middle, which is what I'm about to do now. Okay, so once that's done, each side of the cable carries the positive and negative signal for the audio, and each side will need to be stripped with a wire stripper. So there we have the positive cable ready to go. And then we have the negative cable ready to go. So one side will go to the banana plugs, which will then go into the amp, and the other side, which will be just a stripped cable, will go into the terminal connector behind the speakers. Okay, so the banana plugs that came with the amplifier are just here, and there was 8 of them that came. Now, 2 of them will go on either end of the speaker cables for the left speaker and the right speaker. So let's just put them on. Okay, that seems to be okay. And then this one I'm going to put with the corresponding stripe on the cable. It has a black corresponding stripe, so that will go onto the banana plug, which is got the black indicator there, which indicates the negative terminal. Okay, so you do this on each end of the cables, and then you can then simply push these into the corresponding positive and negative terminals at the back of the amplifier, and then the other ends would go into the back of the speaker, and you're ready to go. So these particular speakers have spring-loaded terminal connectors at the back. Here you have the positive terminal, and here you have the negative terminal. The speaker wire usually has an indication as to which one goes where. This particular speaker wire has a black stripe on one side and is clear on the other side. So I'm going to use the black stripped side for the negative terminal, and I'll use the clear side for the positive terminal. Okay, now that we have everything ready to go, we can make the connections. So here I've put the banana plugs at the end of the cables, and now we can actually plug these into the corresponding connectors. So we'll plug the left speaker in first. That goes to the negative, that one in the positive. Same for the right speaker. There we go. Okay, so then now we also have the power connector, which is just here. We'll do that in a couple of minutes while I just screw this on. Okay, so that's the antenna for the Bluetooth internal receiver. So once this is powered up, I will be able to pair it using my phone or iPad or tablet, and then play music directly to the amplifier, and the sound will then come out through the speakers. So you can just connect the power cable, which is just here, and then I'm just going to switch it on from the power socket on the wall, and then we can actually try this amplifier with the speakers and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like we have everything set up. The amplifier is all plugged in, ready to be powered up. The instructions say to hold the power button down for 3 seconds. So after holding it down for 3 seconds, there is a very small LED indicator just there. You might not be able to see it, but it is actually on now. And what the instructions say next is to press the power button down for just a slight tap. That will enable Bluetooth mode. So now it's in the pairing process. So what I will do is get my phone, swipe down to the Bluetooth menu. Okay, it's scanning for Bluetooth items. So here you can see it says BT HiFi audio. So I'm going to select that. It's asking to pair with the device. Tap on OK, and it's selected and connected. It's given me an indication that it's connected. So now we can actually go ahead and play some music. So let's try it and see what happens. So as you can hear, the music is coming out from the speakers, and it's playing directly via Bluetooth using my phone. And I have to admit, guys, I am blown away. The sound quality is very, very nice. So we can go ahead and adjust the volume. Okay, then you also have the bass and treble settings. We can try and adjust them. Yes. the settings are actually working. There you have it, guys. That's the little amplifier here with built-in Bluetooth. Absolutely fantastic. For the price, I would definitely highly recommend this item. If you have some old hi-fi speakers lying around at home and you want to make use of them, you can't go wrong with this. Check the link in my description for information and where you can buy the amplifier from. And if you could give a subscribe and a like, that would be highly appreciated. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.